Hey Netty, thank you for hopping on a quick call with me. Yeah, of course, I already know your story, but for everyone who is watching, can you please introduce yourself a little bit? Who are you? Where are you from? And where are you currently living? And what were you doing before joining the program?
Okay, so I'm Netty. I was a wildlife conservation programs manager, and I joined LLMP because I wanted to be able to have the flexibility to move around the world and still work, no matter where I was. It didn't have to be associated with wildlife programs and things. At the time, I was in the Cayman Islands. I'm now in Singapore, but I'm British. I'm English, and yeah, I just wanted to be able to move around. I wanted to do this because I do have skills that I can use online, but I didn't have the knowledge to be able to market myself properly. And I just wanted to learn a lot more about that and how I can work remotely. So yeah, that's why I chose to do the course in the first place.
Yeah, awesome. So what would you say was like the most valuable part of the program for you?
So there were a few things, as I just mentioned, basically trying to learn how to do business around the world, but also I found the community side of things because it is weird when you have to work by yourself in
Mm,
a different place and
yeah,
you're
you
working
have no
towards something you don't.
colleagues.
Yeah, you don't have like a team with
Yeah,
you. So when you got the Discord channel and all of the Q&A calls and everything else that kind of bring you together. And it's nice because there are different times of the day, obviously, to try and accommodate many different time zones. And so yeah, some of the calls you jump on and you listen and you may engage a little bit, but some of them you will have proper chats about and speak about your issues and ask questions and things. And I think then you hear about everybody's experiences and find that other people are going through the same things as you, and they're just as kind of out there because none of their family have done this, for example,
mm,
or don't have anyone else
yeah.
around that's this. So
Everyone's starting from
having that,
scratch.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So having that kind of community feel is really, really nice. And I really like the kind of on Discord the kind of like the weekly goals and checking
Yeah,
in,
accountability.
accountability partners. I will say, like, that's been so good. That's been one probably the best bit actually. That's probably been the most valuable in terms of keeping you back. As long as you've got a good one that yeah, like you're
Yeah,
kind of working
both
together.
motivated.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Exactly.
So what would you say is like your biggest accomplishment since joining the program?
Um, I think the confidence to be able to go out and market my skills to people in the part because I've got some of these skills, I've had them for years, and I've kind of been like, oh, on the side I do a bit of artwork or I do a bit of this and that, and so it's quite nice to be able to say, well, these are actually here in the forefront now, and I know how to put that across to people and hopefully get their custom and kind of convince them to be able to do business with me, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned like you already had some skills like to get started with. So I think you just mentioned to me like it's more like the business side of it, and before you were maybe just winging it a little bit, but now you really have like systems in place, right? To go about it in a bit more of a structural manner, maybe.
Yeah, and it's way more professional. You get to a certain stage where I don't know, you've finally managed to land a client having done all these other things. Then you've got, okay, I need to get this form and I need to look at that and I need to start preparing that. It just gives you, yeah, this structure to make it much more streamlined and just efficient and more professional.
Yes, cool. All right. I feel like I'm way too presenty. I need to listen up a little bit. Cut this out, Irene. I don't know why I always get nervous when it's like recording. Okay, next question. So before joining the program, like what were your thoughts about investing into it? And was there anything in specific that made you like decide, okay, I'm gonna take this jump and I'm gonna invest in myself?
So I'd been following Yet on social media on Instagram for quite some time, and I did contact her early on, and then I was like, oh, I don't know, now's not a good time and everything. And then probably, yeah, probably about 2 years later or something. It was quite a long
Oh,
time.
that's pretty long.
I messaged her, yeah, and I was like, all right, look, I've realized there's never going to be a good time, and it's going to be now. It's got to happen
Nice.
now. Ready. Yeah, so obviously got all on the calls with everybody, and the I guess ultimately you've got to invest in your future, you've got to invest in yourself. And so I knew there would be a cost. I think the cost can also help motivate you to want to be able to get that money back as well. But you are educating yourself. So I'm really a fan of investing in your own education. It just makes sense. So there was like okay, this is just part of the process. I'm hopefully it's going to be beneficial. And so therefore, even at times when it's difficult to get your head around stuff, or you're not really sure what you're doing, and then you're like, oh, I can't do anything, like
The
it
mindset
actually,
blocks.
yeah, then you go, okay, well, I have paid for it, and I don't want to waste the opportunity, really. So I think if you're going to do the course, you need to know that that money can help you do different things in your life. And it seems that lots of people, when they share their whys, like why they want to do the course in the first place, there is a lot of like, I'm sick of this job, I don't want to do this, I've got kids, I want a better life for my child. Or, there's lots of that, those whys are really interesting. I love it because it really shows the determination and yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone has different goals, but in the end, it's all kind of like similar. Like everyone is working towards like more freedom, being able to spend more time with the people that they love and stuff like that. So, yes. And when it comes to the mindset blocks, I mean, even after your coaching period ends, just let us know in like the community chats and we will like help you through that for sure.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. I think that's a really supportive part of the community. And you see that when you're first, you're on module 0, you've literally just started, and there are other people saying like, oh, hey, I'm really struggling at the moment, or I don't understand what's going on here. Like, can someone help walk me through how to get this fixed or something? It's always pretty active. So I think that's nice to know that there's still that safety net, even when you've finished the course.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So what if someone is like watching this right now and they are deciding whether or not they should join? What would you tell them?
I would say it's definitely an investment for your future. Whether you don't have any skills or you do, you're still going to get loads of stuff out of it. The skills vault is extremely helpful, even for me who does have skills already, like going back to them, because there are things that I may not have known or missed or something, because a lot of them I'm self-taught with my skills. So there's certain, I don't know, acronyms and things you may not understand, and then going back and then anyway. So I think that there is definitely a huge opportunity that you could be missing out on if you didn't do this course. I think the opportunity would therefore be, as you were saying, the freedom to work for yourself, the freedom, or even if you didn't want to work for yourself, you then have all this knowledge that you can then take to another job. And do your own business down the line or something like that. And all the skills are super flexible, but they kind of link in with each other as well. So you can do one thing and then also develop something else, and then you're just expanding your portfolio. So it doesn't matter if you don't have any skills, it doesn't matter if you do. I do think there's something for everybody in this course. You just got to do it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for sharing.
No worries.